Hi Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to my channel. I'm Shandra Lynn and this is going to be your source energy, spirit energy, universal energy, general reading. It is general, so take it how it resonates with you in your life and your situations and your experiences. Disregard the rest and yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to get a card for your energy, and then I'm actually going to pull cards for the energies going on outside of you and how that correlates with what's, at the center of you. Because everything is kind of chaotic right now. Before I get a card, I want to say sitting with the energy, there's this fed up energy, no patience. There's like a lot of stuff like, oh my goodness, get it together, Scorpio. You're really grumpy, or you're really edgy, or you're really pissy, or you're really salty. Like you are viewing yourself as just needing to take a chill pill in a sense. But what I'm hearing and what you're also hearing underneath you yelling at yourself that you need to take a chill pill is the energies, the interaction of the energies is unacceptable. It's like crossing boundaries. That's what I'm picking up. And it's not in a sense of like, oh, I'm going to push up on your physical boundaries. I'm speaking of the way that people speak with you, where they take the conversations, I'm picking up like, did they just pull a 6-year-old type of explanation on me? It's very confusing and kind of shocking because you're almost disbelieving that somebody literally just kind of pulled something that would be expected of a small child. But here is this energy, and it's giving you like it's 100% serious in what it brought to you. And it's almost like you could really like smack it and it would completely disintegrate. It has no solidarity to it because it's really just immature, really immature. In a sense, I'm picking up like a subconscious programming of like, no, you don't destroy what other people have built. But look at it like I'm being shown of looking at it another way. Somebody brings this unstable sand sculpture to you, and they're expecting you to give them something for it. That's where this like outrage, kind of like, what the fuck is this energy coming from? So smack it. Watch it completely crumble. It is unacceptable. You are being presented with a choice by the universe. You can accept the same old. It's almost like aware that even the energies around you would be like, oh, well, you should have accepted it. And it's like, you've been working really hard, like, and oh, hell no, that's a no-go. It'll come back out if that was the one. You have to continue to say no. If it's being forced upon you, then unleash that fillet of motherfucker and watch the whole thing crumble and be like, I'm not paying for that. I'm not gonna, I'm not paying for that, and I'm not going into the situation holding that as the truth. Spring, see your seeds grow. Oh, that makes so much sense to me now. Why it's almost okay. So if you can kind of let's take it back just a little bit, for a better clarification of what I'm picking up. You put in a lot of work because you're like, I'm not accepting this shit anymore. And it was really like a faith-based kind of work. There wasn't uncertainty. There wasn't any guaranteed that whatever you were going to do was going to be fruitful. But now all of a sudden you've got seeds. Like your seeds are sprouting. They're growing. It's almost like there is already fruit being produced, and you know there's so much more to come because it's at the beginning of the growing season, right? And the reason why this garden, it has done so well up to this point in this new season of planting is because you basically like put the brakes up. When you started rejecting the old and saying no to the old, it's almost like you kind of came into your own little garden, and no one really wanted to come in there because it was all work, and they thought you were just crazy, like that shit ain't gonna grow. Scorpio, track down your fears and desires is on the bottom, and I think we're gonna keep that because it feels like it's important, but it feels more like towards the end, so I'm just gonna sit that right there. Oh yeah, but like I said, you are seeing your seeds grow, and so are the others. Like, they're starting to see the fruit, and all of a sudden, it's like they're coming in, and they're purposely, it's almost like they enter under the impression that it is theirs. It's all theirs for the taking. And they're the ones that get to claim credit for it as well. And then they start telling you when you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, don't go fucking with those flowers. Leave them alone so they can go to fruit. And then that's when they bring forth this like mastery attempt of knowledge about they understand and they have grown and that they're better at growing than you have, because now somehow they have had this where they have been a master farmer or whatever in their life, like, and it's complete, like, and it's got you like, well, what like the work that you have done is clearly shining a light on the truth of these energies, the truth on these other consciousnesses. And I'm picking up on consciousnesses. I'm picking up on it, like I'm actually picking up on self-aware consciousness, whether this is family, work, wherever this is somebody, it's almost like they stayed away from your garden for the time being, right? Because you were already upholding your boundaries. You're like, stay out of the garden. Stay out of the garden. Don't touch the garden. Don't touch my garden. Stay out of the garden. But they also really didn't want to be in there anyways because there was no energy for them in it. You were focused on, preparing the soil and getting everything ready and figuring out what plants are going to do better where and all of that amazing stuff. But now it's a different thing. Now you're having fruit. Now you have harvest. You are able to slowly start harvesting. You're not doing great big harvest right now because it's still at the beginning of the season, but you're still seeing enough growth and enough fruit starting to form to know that, like, holy crap, look, you are doing good. Now this is where those energies are coming in, because they might have gotten used to you upholding your boundaries before there was anything to harvest, but they have never crossed your path with you upholding your boundaries when you do have something to harvest. They are in the old energy of you believing that you guys were a team and working together. But you soon realized in the back, in the past, in what has already been experienced, that there really was no partnership. There was a complete dependency. There was a complete dependency on you to provide this harvest for them, right? And then there was this is deep, Scorpio. So at that same time, there was this awareness of, like, well, why the fuck would I allow that to continue? And then it's realizing the trick of the mind, trick of the programming, because you were actually the one to be made to believe that you were the one that was dependent. So all of the prep work, all of that unknowing if it was actually going to work, if anything was going to actually grow, it was all foreign and new to you. All right? But what is not foreign or new is the fact that you produce harvest. It doesn't matter in the old energy, as much as you think like, oh, I sucked back then, or oh, it was horrible back then. Yes. Oh God, yes to all of that. And that should give you a big, like, turbo push. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee, y'all. Let that give you a big turbo push forward, because you're upholding your own boundaries now and you're saying no. And yes, it is exhausting to say no. And yes, it is exhausting to have to go, whoa, stop looking at your beautiful tomatoes forming and go, get the fuck out of my garden. Don't touch that. Don't spray that. Don't like. And the aspect of you wanting to deliver it in such a blunt fillet a motherfucker manner is because you really have no energy for this kind of interaction anymore. So you are going to want to get it taken care of as quick as possible. We're going to go ahead and start getting the other cards, because we've only really pulled 1/2 that I haven't even started to. Yeah, we got It's All Good in the East. For the new, we got Divine Timing in the Now, and the Power in the Fire position. Ooh, Joy in the West, where your wisdom is, where the restful energy is coming in. And that's very important, because it is kind of a restful energy. Your garden is growing. There, until the big harvest later on in the season come, it's kind of just a time for you to lay back and enjoy it, right? And there is a lot of joy coming in with seeing everything grow. Ooh, and discernment. Oh, but that means this filet motherfucker energy is leaving. What's on the bottom of this one? Ooh, feminine energy. Ooh, that's kind of sexy. The feminine energy with the hunter. Ooh, look, we got the Knight. Be brave and honest. I want to say, because you might, yeah, that makes sense to me too. Okay, thank you. So, standing up for, like, get out of my garden, as you were working on it before, was you owning your boundaries. This new having to stand up. That's where that energy is coming from, because it is different for you to say and uphold your own boundaries when there is harvest. You want to naturally give. You are a giver. And you will be giving. That's what I'm really hearing from Spirit is you're going to be giving. There's no aspect of you being selfish and hoarding anything to yourself. What Spirit is saying is say no to this old energy. You have to tell the universe no, because it is an old energy, which means the universe is used to you accepting it. So the universe is delivering it because it believes that you're going to accept it. It's used to you accepting it. Once you say no, and the universe kind of goes, well, what? It's like, like a 2-year-old that wants to give you a piece of candy. If you pay attention and you say no to that one and you keep pointing, like they just keep bringing you more candy until they bring you the right candy. And then you say yes, and they pick up on it really quick. And that sounds really strange to use as a universal term, but that's what it is. So be fearless and stand strong, right? Because this energy is going to be over with quick. All you have to do is stand. All you have to do is really just say no. No. You can actually, I'm hearing temper tantrum. Right? Because I want to get out of this energy because it is really coming to an end. It's really going to be quick of just like, psh, and it's done. You're going to be like, no. Get the fuck out of my garden. So that is coming to an end. But that is like upholding your boundaries, being fearless and standing strong is that closing of that cycle, right? Like right now, think of this energy as a pest problem, right? And once done and gone kind of an energy. It's whatever this filet motherfucker that you're going to deliver, it's going to be like a paper cut, right? You don't really feel it when it happens, but then it stings, and it stings for a while. And that is what's going to happen here. It's going to sting, and it's going to continue stinging, but your energy is going to be in a completely different frequency. So while this energy, not the hunter energy, but while this energy that is calling for this is finishing up here, right? This energy is basically going to go and pout in the corner about its hurt finger. And it's just going to continue to get mad or do whatever the hell it's going to do. This is not their reading. So it's not going to be able, like, it's going to be doing its thing, but you're going to be in a different frequency, a completely different station, different music, different focus, because that is what's going on here. All right, so this is coming to an end. It's all good is coming in. Like, that's what that's saying is, like, take a deep breath. Your garden's okay. Your plants are okay. I want to get a little bit more, because it's really like this energy just went away really quick. Oh, that's where the hunter is coming in. Okay, so the hunter is coming in, what I feel down here, with the divine timing, because you've got this time period of, of a break, of just being in this joyful energy, relaxing, getting in that creative energy. It's almost like recognizing you've got time to be creative and just kind of, I don't know, critique things and make them more pleasing and for you, but also being able to go out and So that track down your fears, the first part in the Hunter card is talking what I feel is this past. Like you were wondering, like, well it is. It's kind of like you got and paper cut someone to go away. Now you're going to track down your desires. Because I'm feeling like, oh crap, there's nothing really to do. Everything's weeded good. Everything's watered good. Everything's on a good cycle. The plants are all exactly where they need to be. Everything's got the right kind of support. There's a really good, system going on. So some of your plants might, feed some of the bugs, but for the most part, everything's just kind of living in harmony. So I'm picking up like, well, crap, what was I planning on doing during this free time? Oh, look, you got another divine card come up. And then this is the god of risk. He also, like I said, music, right? He's playing that recorder. But then the beaver talks about being balanced in both worlds. And it talks about like divine building, divine construction, co-creating with source energy, spirit energy, universal energy, however you talk about it. But it feels kind of like a risk because you're kind of terrified to walk away from your garden, right? But, oh, okay. Ooh, endurance with the moose. Endurance with the moose. This is calling, okay, so this is speaking of calling upon your endurance because it already feels exhausting thinking about walking away and going for a hike through the woods and leaving your garden unattended, right? Especially with the way things had been in the old energy. But what I'm clearly being shown is if you're wondering what's going to happen, right? Like what will happen with that paper cut boy, girl, whoever, how many ever, is going to happen if that energy sees you absent from your garden. I'm clearly being shown like this really furious energy of, well, they're walking away, so I'm not going out there and watering it or anything. And that way, when it all dies, it'll all be on Scorpio. Because Scorpio can't do it without me kind of an energy. But that mentality comes from a low amount of knowledge and a low amount of understanding. Because you do know more about gardening than they do. And you do have it set up to where the beds don't go dry. Like you've got a really good balanced system going. Trust in it. They're not going to pay any attention to the garden when you're walking in the woods anywhere because that's where they're focused. They're just going to be like, ooh. But you got the evolution tree, you got the protection, peace pipe, dream with journey. You got the bear card with introspection, but it's also another card of protection. So, okay. I'm getting no real clear sign of what's in the woods. I'm getting no real clear sign of what is you're actually going to be taking a walk from, but I can tell you that there is, in a sense, everything's good. Everything is protected. You haven't forgot anything. That's really just part of the old programming. So finding the endurance and the energy to just take those few steps into the woods will be the most energy spent part of the whole thing. But something about whatever this is of tracking down your desires, it's something you really want, and source energy is like really wanting to co-create it with you. You know, that's what the card says. You know. Allow. You got two. Allow and create. It's a surprise. Think of it as a present. And it's in the woods. That was amazing. That was really deep, Scorpio. I really hope that that brings understanding and clarity for you in your life. And I look forward to seeing you later. Love you guys.